Classic. And the girls' game in the books, the boys' game getting set to begin. Ari Bluestein will be bringing you all of the play-by-play. Good first game. Ari got away at the very end, but that opening half, it was close, and these student athletes certainly come out to play. And a great presentation this afternoon, $150,000 check being presented, what it's all about.
Well, that is certainly what it's all about. And, the girls' game was a very interesting game. It was tied at 39 with about 2 or 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and that's when the Suburban team just broke it open. Garrison had a couple of big threes, and that was it from there. So the final score really does not tell you the type of competition that was going on in the game. And now we've got the boys' game coming up, and you've got some phenomenal players, potentially Division I players as well. And, this is really going to be a fun game to watch. I mean, you have a lot of really good players. You've got state champions, you've got city champions, Catholic League, suburbs, public league. Really, it's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what the good thing is about the boys' game? You've got some high-flying dunkers like Ajiri Johnson out of Bonner Prendy and Ed Croswell out of St. Joseph's Prep. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think once the game starts, you're going to have a lot of fun on some fast break opportunities.
The amazing thing about this game, and again, it's all about that. It's all about the money that's raised and the check that's being presented. But the amazing thing about it, Ari, is that these student athletes, or these athletes that are here to play hard. I mean, as you said, the season's over and it's long overdue. But these student athletes are here to play, and they're here to play hard. And as you said, should be a high-flying game this afternoon as the boys are on the court warming up. We're about 5-6 minutes away from tip-off.
Yeah, and we have a man in the booth now who has seen these players play all year long, and I'm talking about Aaron Ace Carter out of the Philadelphia Inquirer, who survived playing in the media game. So before we get into this game coming up, Ace, I want to welcome you in, and you got to play in that media game versus the Union team. You've done it, for the last few years. Talk about that game and what it's like to be a part of the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic.
Well, I'm not actually sure I survived. I'll let you know in the morning when I wake up tomorrow.
I will say, Ari, this. He hit a deep three ball at the buzzer to go into the half. I don't remember if they counted the three, but you counted the three. All right, good stuff.
Well, it's great that you took part in it, in the game, and now you've got an all-star game here featuring some really good players, and it's great to see some of these great players come out. We're talking about players like Ajiri Johnson from Bonner Prendy, Alan Betrand from Roman Catholic, Sam Sessoms from the Shipley School. I see a lot of other Catholic League players as well. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see these guys play in a relaxed, fun atmosphere.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different than the structure of high school basketball when you have coaches trying to direct you and direct all the action. But I expect to see a high-flying game. I don't expect to see a whole lot of defense. One young fellow in particular I'm interested to see is Jake Wilson. Looks like he's warming up. Bonner Prendy Sr. Hasn't been able to play in his Bonner Prendy career. I wrote about him a few years ago. He has Marfan syndrome. It looks like he's warming up now. He's a high flyer. He's probably about 6'8", 6'9", probably 180 pounds soaking wet. But it's great to see him out there running around.
Yeah, that's really great. And you see a guy like that coming into this game, and again, you have the great players that we talked about, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, you're expecting not a lot of defense. Can we get to triple digits today? What do you think?
I'd be disappointed if we didn't.
That's great. And you got a chance to watch the girls' game a little bit, and you had a lot of great talent on the floor from the Philadelphia Catholic League, from Suburban I, a little bit from the Philadelphia Public League, and that, the great thing about girls basketball, they always get a lot of great family support, and you could see them up here. We had a great turnout for the girls' game, and even though it was a meaningless game, great turnout, and a lot of people cheering on the girls.
Yeah, I think so often we talk about Philly high school basketball, our minds go to the boys' side and how talented and the guys that are coming out. Tony Carr is going to come out in the NBA draft. A few years ago, he was at Roman Catholic, but on the girls' side, it's a lot of talented players out there, and it's great to see all the support that they've gotten today and throughout the season.
Yeah, it certainly is, and along with Aaron Ace Carter, I'm Ari Bluestein, our producer Joe Kraus, and Ace will hang out with us for a little bit here in the first half, and we'll have some special guests coming in and out as well, and we're about 2 minutes away from the start of the boys' game here, Joe Kraus, here at U Sciences.
All right. right, all good stuff, Ari. It's the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic. And again, I keep going back to that check presentation amount, $150,000, representing 100% of the proceeds that are generated from this basketball game today. All good stuff as we bring you the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic here this afternoon on News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. We will take a 90-second commercial break and come back with the start and the tip of the boys All-Star Game back in a moment.
Welcome back here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here as we get set for the boys game. And before we start talking about the boys, I wanted to bring in one of the stars from the girls All-Star Game, and it's Plymouth Whitemarsh senior Taylor O'Brien. Taylor, thanks for joining us here on air here on 990 AM.
No problem.
So you got to play in the girls game, and it was really, I guess, your last game as a high school player. How great was that to get to play with some players that you played against all year?
It was just great to see everybody who was giving their all and playing their best when we were all working together and everything.
We're going to take a quick time out here during the national anthem, and when we come back, we will pick up our conversation here with Taylor O'Brien. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the University of the Sciences live here for the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic. I'm Ari Bluestein, and the boys All-Star Game about to begin, but we'll pick up with our special guest here in the booth, Taylor O'Brien out of Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. And Taylor, thank you again for joining me, and I know that you really had a chance to reflect on playing in this game, but you had a phenomenal career at PW. Over 1,000 points, right? 2,000 points. Oh, I'm sorry, I shorted you 1,000, my goodness. And you'll be going on, I believe, to play at Bucknell,
yes.
Right? I mean, are you excited to play some Division I basketball?
I'm so excited. Just to have this opportunity is an amazing opportunity, and everybody was supporting me throughout all of my years, and everybody just wanted to see our whole team succeed and me succeed, which is awesome.
And the cool thing is about today's game, you played against players that you played against all year, played with some players that you played with all year. Once you get to the next level, a lot of the faces we saw on the floor, you might be seeing them a little bit in basketball. Is that exciting to continue to compete against the players you play here in high school? And I'm sure you played in a lot of all-star games as well. Where does an event like this, where you raise $150,000 for United Cerebral Palsy, where does this kind of fit into all the games you played in your high school career?
I mean, it's just surreal. Like, everybody just is I can't even explain it.
Now, did you get a chance to see the Media versus the Union game at all and get to see the finish to that game? They had a moment where they lifted up a young girl with cerebral palsy, and she made the game-winning basket.
That's awesome.
That's what this game is all about, right?
It is all about that. It's just about the support for everybody and all of the supporters and all of the people and parents that came and watched our games and took the time out of their day and to come and support us. This is what it's all about.
Well, and that is what it's all about. But at the same time, it's good to get a win. And your team, the Suburban team, pulled away at the end of the third quarter and in the fourth quarter. You had a lot of great steals, a lot of great layups. I'm sure, again, it's an all-star game. It's all about the charity, but it's got to feel good to win, right?
It is.
Well, Taylor O'Brien out of Plymouth Whitemarsh High School joining us here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. I'll let you get back to your family. Enjoy the game. Thanks so much for taking 5 minutes out of your time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Taylor O'Brien out of Plymouth Whitemarsh High School headed to Bucknell as I bring in Aaron Ace Carter yet again here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. And the great thing is Taylor O'Brien and all these other student athletes, they know what this game's all about. Yes, it's a basketball game, but it's all about the charity in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to somebody before, and I was lucky enough to be able to play in this game back in 1998. I forget where it was. I'm really old. My memory's not what it used to be. But it's just a great. Anytime you can be involved in charitable work, just whether it's directly or indirectly, it's just such a gratifying thing. And to see the people that are here and see the smiles on their faces, to be able to bring some joy to them for a couple hours, just to come out and watch a basketball game, the sport we all love. It's great. So
we're here in 2018. It's the 31st annual. You played in 1998. So if my math's correct, the 11th annual All-Star Labor Classic? Does that sound about right?
I think you're wrong. I'm only 25. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's great to have you along here as the boys' rosters were just announced. And, Ace Carter from the Philadelphia Inquirer joining us here in the booth. I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you again for joining us here live from the Bobby Morgan Arena on the campus of the University of the Sciences. And you see some of these players announced. These are players that you've followed, and you've followed them for basically their entire careers. I know you said you were very excited to see Jake Wilson. Any other players in particular that you're really excited to see here one last time here in the All-Star Labor Classic?
Oh, man, how much time do you have? I'm watching
we've got a couple hours here, Ace.
Alan Beachman walking out right now from Rome. And I remember Alan when he was at Samuel Fells as a sophomore. I went to go see him play and was just impressed by his overall game. And I think throughout his career in Philadelphia, he's been underrated, always been overshadowed by guys that maybe put up more points. But I think what Alan does and what he's done his entire career is do things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. In addition to, being a scorer, being a driver and a slasher. When he was at Fells, he was actually a really good mid-range shooter. And I think he does some intangible things, defensive rebound, getting deflections, just being a vocal leader out there on the court. So he's definitely a kid that I've enjoyed watching through the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah,
a couple other players for me as we resume play here, and we're off and running as Sam Sessoms for the city team missing the layup. A couple players like Karan Randolph, we watched him develop at Haverford School, and as the opening bucket made there by the city team as they lead it 2-0. Very fast-paced game as the aforementioned Randolph missing the three. How about Ed Croswell for the city team getting the rebound? He's another guy who transitioned from Mass Civics and Sciences now to St. Joe's Prep and now to LaSalle University.
Yeah, Eddie's game has grown so much since he was at MCNS. I think he was there as a freshman and a sophomore. Wound up at St. Joe's Prep, and Speedy Morris in that program really just took his game to another level. I see he's...
and right on cue, he dunks the basketball. Love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just about to say it's something that he added to his game. A little more athletic, slimmed down a little bit. Footwork has always been there. It's been fun to watch him play.
So 4-0 City as Andrew Funk of Archbishop Wood missing the three, but the offensive rebound put back no good by Ajiri Johnson. And Johnson's another guy who really came on the scene last year. He's going to play at Rider University next year. What an electrifying athletic big man for the Bonner Prendy Friars.
Yeah, Ajiri Johnson he'd dunk on you just as soon as look at you. And he's one of the guys that gets up the quickest I've ever seen in years in covering high school basketball and college basketball when I covered it. He just has springs for legs.
And the suburban team in the blue jerseys finally on the board as Sam Sessoms out of the Shipley School makes the bucket, and here's a three, and it's good for Mason Williams out of Penn Charter. And it's good to see some of these Interact players and the Friends League players come in and play in this game. We mentioned Sessoms, and we mentioned Mason Williams as the attempted steal there, foul called on Ed Croswell of the city. Sessoms, I believe, is playing at Binghamton, if I'm correct. He's a guy small in stature, but I have a feeling he's going to have a real chance to dominate a low-level major type of team in Division I like the America East Conference.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I haven't gotten to see play a whole lot because I didn't cover the Friends School, but I watched early in the season. They played Archbishop Carroll. It was a game I wanted to see, but he got hurt and didn't play in that one. But his game, what I know of him and his reputation, he can flat out fill it up as we see him go in and try to lay it up.
Oh, and he missed the layup and the follow-up slam from Ajiri Johnson. I have a feeling that's one of many here for Johnson. We already had a missed dunk, though, today from Justin Anderson of Carroll. This is a three from Kyle Thompson. And Kyle Thompson out of St. Joe's Prep. His father, Michael Thompson, played at Drexel, and this is a guy, he's small in stature, just like Sessoms, but he's another guy who really has the ability to score the basketball.
Yeah, Kyle can flat out fill it up on all three levels, from deep, from the mid-range. He can get to the basket. He's just a smooth basketball player.
Now, Ajiri Johnson just attempted a three from the top of the key. His coach, Jack Concannon, is in the building. I didn't see Ajiri Johnson take a jump shot from more than 15 feet all year. Maybe he's trying to show Ryder that he's got a little bit of range.
You know, it's funny. I saw Jerry shoot 1-3 early in the season this year, and that was the last one.
Oh, he's taking another one from the corner. Not even close. Rebound here by Mason Williams out of Penn Charter. Leaves it for Croswell. And Ajiri Johnson just lets him go by, and Croswell makes the bucket. And, of course, a lot of these guys on Division I scholarships, Division II players as well. Oh, Johnson with a thunderous slam. I was about to say, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. I think that's why Johnson just let Croswell go by. Johnson with his second slam of the day.
Yeah, that's why defense is just sort of
not
defense
happening
is a
today.
rumor in games like these.
Well, don't tell that to Andrew Funk, the future Patriot League member, as the City team on the run, and that three missed by Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells High School in the Public League. Kyle Thompson, the lob, and it's good. And it's 14-6 right now, as I believe the City team here with the early lead. City team in orange, Suburbs in blue, as a drive there by Karan Randolph. And now, about midway through the first quarter, it's time for the wholesale subs. 10 in, 10 out. It's like a hockey line change here today. For the City team, number 5, Charles Carlisle from Friends Select. Peter Guard from Germantown Friends. Darius Kinnell from St. Joseph's Prep. John Kelly from the state champion Roman Catholic Kaolites. And the Suburbs with the ball on a 3-ball from Sean Simon out of LaSalle College High School. And LaSalle's a team that you covered in the PCL. Another solid year from Joe Dempsey and his crew. Very competitive in the PCL.
Yeah, and they were young. They've been young for the last couple of years. They're led by Conrad Kiska, who's a talented junior. He'll be a senior next year. I look for LaSalle to take a major step in the right direction next year. They've been making steps in the right direction, but I expect them to go even further next year.
Well, the PCL was so competitive this year, and you saw that even with St. Joe's Prep as a 7 seed getting to the Palestra. O'Hara, a team on the rise as well. Very competitive, and I anticipate it to be very competitive again this year as Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells lays it up and in.
Yeah, in that PCL, we even saw the city coach, Sean Tate, his team at Father Judge. It didn't do well in the regular season in the Catholic League, but took a lot of teams down to the wire.
Bob Stratz out of Haverford with a slam for the Suburban team. City team leading 16-11, just over 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Darius Kinnell, his pass off of the hands of Carlisle. Suburbs in transition, loses the ball. Kinnell with the steal. Bounce pass to John Kelly, who got the roll. And big John Kelly out of Roman Catholic, who's actually the first baseman on their baseball team. He's in season again here in the spring. He really had some big contributions for the Cahillites in the PCL championship and at the state level as well.
He really did, and that's one of the things that impressed me most about Roman is that we all know that the top 4 players, Lynn Greer the third, Alan Beatran, Hakeem Hart, and who's the last one I'm forgetting? Seth Lundy.
Seth Lundy. Can't forget Seth Lundy.
Can't forget Seth Lundy. But guys like John Kelly, he just did a lot of things that might not show up on the stat sheet to play physical for you. Sean Simon hits a 3 on the wing. But John Kelly play physical for you. He'll set hard screens and get those guys open and let them do their thing.
And Simon with the 3 for the Suburban squad as they pull to within 4, 18-14 with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Good drive by Darius Kinnell. Off the glass and good, and the St. Joe's Prep Hawks with the easy layup.
And Darius is one of those kids whose game has grown exponentially. If I had to pick a most improved player, and I might, I'd definitely say it's him. His poise under pressure, his ability to get his own shot and create more for teammates, he definitely improved this year.
And back-to-back threes, one by the Suburban squad's Johanse Garner out of Bonner Prendy. The next by Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells. So it goes back to a 6-point lead for the City. Oh, look out. No shot. And jumping up to try and block the shot and hitting the ground hard was Charles Carlisle out of Friends Select. And again, you do not want to see anybody get hurt today. I know somebody on the Union team had to come out of the game in your game, Ace. That's not what we want to see here today.
There's some bloodshed in the Union game.
Great inbounds pass. Johanse Garner finding Amin Williams out of Plymouth White Marsh High School. His twin brother Ahmad, I believe, is here today on the bench. And now a steal by the Suburbs behind the back. Layup is good for Amin Williams. And Plymouth White Marsh, who was the District 1 champs fell short. They got upset by Roman Catholic in the state tournament, and I think a lot of people felt like that was an upset, but what a shame for Roman to have to play PW so early in that state tournament.
Yeah, a little bit questionable with the seeding, and that's a tough draw for both teams, really.
Right, exactly.
Simon buries a deep three.
Wow, Sam Simon out of LaSalle College High School showing the range, and that's the suburbs' first lead of the game, 24-23 here with 42 seconds and counting remaining here in the first quarter. Kinnell splits the D. Oh, and a weak side or ejection by Bob Stratz out of Haverford. 35 seconds to go. First quarter action here in the boys All-Star game here in the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. Alongside Aaron Ace Carter of the Philadelphia Inquirer, I'm Ari Bluestein as we wind down the first quarter of play. Good game so far as the suburbs lead the city 24-23. Johanse Garner a step back three from the wing off the mark, floorboard by Kinnell. The outlet pass. And a block by Garner from behind, but a foul is called as Christian Brown, the Samuel Fells Panther, will go to the line for two with 9.7 seconds remaining. And, you know, the Philadelphia Public League this year, Ace, was so dominated by MOTEP Charter, and sometimes teams like Fells just go unnoticed, but Christian Brown had a pretty solid year for the Fells Panthers.
Yeah, he did. He had a solid season. Just looking at him now, stocky guard, good handle, consummate Philly point guard, streaky from the outside, but you know he's going to play defense. He's going to be a tough, hard-nosed kid. And
he makes both free throws, so back to a one-point lead for the city team. And here's a drive. We have a whistle, a little bit of a foul, I believe, on Kinnell. Not a shooting foul. So the clock stopped at 3.1 seconds. Suburbs with a chance to score and retake the lead here at the end of the first quarter. On the cut and the layup up and in for Amin Williams, and the buzzer sounds. And at the end of one, the Suburbs with the lead over the city team 26-25 here in the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic.
All right, one quarter in the books as we broadcast to you across the Jacob Media Radio Network on News Talk 990. We're also streaming the game live, so be sure to check that out as well. Game two now moving into the second quarter. We'll take a commercial break and return to the Jacob Media Radio Network back in a moment. And back here live on the Jacob Media Radio Network, it's the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. We thank everybody for tuning in to the broadcast. This, for us, kind of culminates and brings to a close our basketball season on the Jacob Media Radio Network, and what a way to end with the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. $150,000 check presented in between the girls All-Star Game and the boys All-Star Game, presented to Blossom Philadelphia, formerly of UCP. On the microphone, bringing you all of the play-by-play, Ari Bluestein. All right.
Thank you very much, Krause, and I'm joined here for the remainder of the second quarter by Ace Carter of the Philadelphia Inquirer, and exciting first quarter there, Ace, and we were going to see some new faces as number 14, Pietro Bergella from Germantown Friends into the game. Chaz Person out of Masterman. Justin Anderson back in the game, and what a follow-up slam. Ajiri Johnson.
That's what he's done all season long. I was fortunate enough to get video of him doing that against St. Joe's Prep. It was actually a game winner at Bonner Prendy.
Look out, he wants to take it coast to coast. The finger roll. Oh, you got to slam it, big man. That's why you missed it. Oh, man, pull-up three. Short and over the top on that attempt by Chaz Person out of Masterman. Let's talk about Ajiri Johnson for a moment. He's going to Rider University, which just so happens to be my alma mater, and the Bronx on the rise, and he fits perfectly in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. A lot of high-flying athletic bigs, and I think he's going to have a lot of success at Rider.
I mean, with his game, he fits in perfectly anywhere. With that type of energy, with that kind of balance, he can help a team anywhere in any league and at any point in time.
And because of his defensive presence, he's going to step in right away. That's the thing. If you have a big man who's a little tentative on defense, that's the problem. But I think he's going to step in and fill in some minutes right away.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that along with the defensive presence, he'll rebound for you too. And with that type of athleticism, if he just commits his mind to getting every rebound, I can see him averaging double-digit rebounds during the course of his career.
Pietro Bergella coming up empty on the three as the Suburban team with all 4 points here to start the second quarter. In traffic, Karan Randolph, the kick out. This is Ahmad Williams, the other twin from PW. Tip in, up and good from Justin Anderson of Archbishop Carroll, who had, of course, what you don't want to have in an all-star game, a missed dunk. But, Anderson and Archbishop Carroll, they had a great year, and they're going to have a lot of guys back, like A.J. Hogard. I know Anderson's gone as a senior, but a lot of promise as Anderson goes through and misses the layup. But Archbishop Carroll is going to be a team to be reckoned with next year.
Absolutely. Luke House will come back, and some of those big guys will be there. Kyrie Kettner will be there. He had some good minutes for Carroll for the Patriots this season. Here and there, spot minutes. He'd get a big rebound, make a big block, a couple baskets here and there. I think you're absolutely right. Carroll should be. I expect them to be at the top of the Catholic League, around the top.
Yeah, I would definitely say top 4. I think Sam Systems gets the steal, picks the pocket of Noah Lindsay out of New Foundations. And how about Systems seeing a little bit of what he can do?
It's a grown man finish right there. Finish with contact.
I think he's going to have a lot of success as a Binghamton Bearcat, that is for sure. But as we have another steal, Karan Randolph can't save it with a little hustle. Seen a little more defense than we thought here, Ace.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's indicative of Karan Randolph. That's what he does. He's such a nice kid. Really respectful. Always greets you with a handshake and a smile. Always looks you right in the eye, which is sometimes rare.
Layup up and good for Chaz Person out of Masterman High School in the Philadelphia Public League. Coming forward is Ahmad Williams, stripped and stolen. City team trying to make a run to get back in fourth. Here comes Noah Lindsay. Bergella. Triple good. Chaz Person drilling it from Masterman. Back to a 6-point advantage. Jumper good for Karan Randolph. And, a lot of these guys, you think about the PIAA, a lot of these guys coming from the PESA, coming from the Friends League and the Interac. I would love to see the PIAA champ take on the PESA champ, at least locally here in Philly, like the best team from the Interac take on the best team from the Catholic League for the rights to own the city title.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love that. I'd actually like the different classifications to play each other and have one classification.
Ooh, yes, that's what the Tournament of Champions in Jersey.
Right.
See a little bit of that as well. So going to the line after being fouled was Ahmad Williams, and we're going to have some more substitutions. As Ahmad Williams comes to the line, I want to pick up on that Catholic League conversation. You look at the next year, Bonner brings back the MVP of the league, Isaiah Wong, as well as Tariq Ingram, big man. Roman Catholic brings back Seth Lundy and Lynn Greer, all those guys you mentioned. Carroll brings back some players. LaSalle, they might be a team to step up. I think that you're looking at that as maybe your top 4 in the PCL. And in addition, Newman Goretti, of course, brings back a ton of young talent.
Right, absolutely. You'll have as competitive as it was this season. I think it'll be even more competitive next season. You're going to have a talented group of seniors. This year, it's that junior class that's got studs from all over the city. You're talking about Isaiah Wong at Bonner,
right.
Donta Scott at Imhotep.
Yes.
Such a talented group of juniors right now that'll be seniors next season. I think Philadelphia basketball is going to be good for a couple more years.
Alan Beatran with the ball coming into the game for the city team. Kick out and a deep 3 off the mark there for Kyle Thompson. Croswell with the save, but it goes to the suburban team. And here's another 3 for Sean Simon, who has been on fire, his 4th 3 of the game. My goodness. Croswell in the post. And his pass was stolen by Amin Williams of PW.
Yeah, drop that back. Heat check.
Heat check indeed as Simon misses the 3. And we'll stay with the Suburbs, who has a 12-point lead, thanks in large part to Sean Simon. Also coming into the game from Lansdale Catholic, Jack Custers, the Lansdale Catholic Crusader. Simon again, off the mark. And Amin Williams trying to save it, but Beatran has it. Beatran lost it, trying to go between the legs. Coming back the other way, Johanse Garner down the lane and fouled. So 42-30, and this game was close early on, but the second unit here for the suburban team particularly led by Sean Simon and then Ajiri Johnson with some slams, really taking over this game right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's an all-star game or not, but when you have guys that make electricity plays like that, like Ajiri with the tip dunk and then Sean Simon with threes, that gives you momentum. Whether or not, the crowd gets behind you or it's a home game or not, that gives you momentum for players on the court.
The thing I see, and you can't really see it on the live stream, and of course you can't see it here on 990 AM, but a lot of players here in this boys game showing up. And, at this point in the year, your season's done. You just want to, pack it in, get ready to play in college like a lot of these guys are. Great turnout, and I think that shows you what this game is all about, that these players know how important this All-Star Labor Classic is as Kyle Thompson hits the three.
Yeah, there's a lot of tradition here. There's a lot of guys that have come before you and played here, and so just, out of respect, I'd like to see guys show up, and they have today.
They certainly have, as that both benches are really full of orange and blue jerseys. As that shot is missed, Alan Beatran with the rebound. City trying to make a comeback here at the end of the second, and Croswell with a nice soft slam. That's a gentleman's slam dunk. 6 points for Croswell. 8-point lead for the Suburbs. They've got the ball. 3 from Amin Williams off the mark. Offensive rebound by Bob Stratz out of Haverford. And the Suburbs will keep it. Here's Custers out of Lansdale Catholic, a deep two. And Custers drilling it. And you look at the Lansdale Catholic Crusaders, they're usually in the bottom tier of the PCL, but still not a bad basketball team.
No, it's a team that has some close games this season. Like I said, like we've talked about, the Catholic League, man, top to bottom, there isn't an easy out. There's not an easy out.
That's true, and even West Catholic had a strong year. As speaking of strong, Croswell taking it to the bucket. My goodness, how far he's come. I remember watching him in the state championship game. It was a coming out party, actually state semifinal, I should say, against Constitution. He really had a phenomenal game and then turned into a really nice player as a St. Joe's Prep Hawk, playing some nice D on Bob Stratz as well. And it's just amazing. Again, he's a guy you followed, you've seen him develop. I mean, and a really great young gentleman.
We're going to have a little one-on-one bottle.
Oh, I love it. Croswell and Stratz. Croswell missing it, gets Stratz up in the air, and a nice little gentlemanly layup from Croswell, who's in double figures.
Yeah, you're right. And Eddie's one of those kids. He's a really nice kid. You can tell he worked hard in his game, and you love to see that. When guys work hard and improve themselves, improve their games. And Danny Jackson at MCNS did a great job with him also. And then he went to Speedy Morris at St. Joe's Prep. They really, all of those coaches really helped develop his game.
Oh, he's had the opportunity to play with one of the best older coaches in the city as Beatran drills a deep three. And Speedy Morris, one of the best older coaches in the league. And then one of the best young coaches in the city in Danny Jackson. 5-point game after Beatran's deep three. Suburbs with the ball, leading 47-42. Under a minute remaining here in the first half. Stratz gets the loose ball inside to Williams. Beatran with the block on Amin Williams, but Williams takes it right away from Croswell and he lays it up and in.
This is what I like to see now. It's starting to get a little more intense. There's a little more defense being played. Guys are starting to take pride in it. Both benches are up and cheering their teams on. It's like an exciting finish for the second half.
30 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Thompson pull up three, top of the key, a little too strong. Fighting for the rebound and into the game is Drew Riley out of Father Judge. Gets it, dumps it off to Croswell, and a nice little layup up and in. Back to a 5-point game. Suburbs with the ball. Custers up across the timeline. Leaves it. Simon, a deep three from the wing, and he has cooled off after a hot start. Croswell with the rebound. 5 seconds remain. And his pass is stolen by Garner. Simon at the buzzer. No good. Not sure if it would have counted anyway, but what a finish here in the second quarter. It's getting exciting. And as we send it over to Kraus, before we do, I want to say goodbye to Aaron Ace Carter joining us here for the first half. Ace, thanks so much for joining us here on this broadcast.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Good stuff by Ace Carter joining us up in the booth. I look forward, Ari, next year to being on the bench during the media game. Now that I have new knees, I look forward to playing in the media game next year. Don't think so, but good work by you. We are at halftime of the boys All-Star game. We'll take a 60-second commercial because we're going to come back and we're going to talk with Dennis Hill. So we're going to take a short 60-second break and then return. You're listening to the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Back in a moment. Podcast to you on News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. We're at the University of the Sciences, Bobby Morgan Arena. We are at halftime of the boys' All-Star game, where the Suburban boys have a 5-point lead over the city team, 49-44. Game 2 of 2. The girls' All-Star game was before. Time to introduce you to the man who puts it all together. These two full rosters of the boys' All-Stars and the girls' All-Stars. They don't just show up, on Sunday, April 8th at University of the Sciences and say, hey, I'm interested in playing in the All-Star game. Dennis Hill joining us on the live broadcast. And Dennis, you did it again, my friend. Oops, you did it again. Well done, my friend.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you and the staff for everything you do for us during the year, and especially today. The players out there today, we're very happy. Mostly all of them will be going to college. I had some college coaches here today, and they're talking to some of the boys and girls about continuing their education. We have one young man from Mastbaum High School. We're going to work with getting him into trade schools with labor unions. We're going to work with him there.
Wow, that's fantastic.
But it's about the young people, and it's about what we do for Blossom Philadelphia. When you see the young people, today I was fortunate to be able to be an assistant coach on the girls team, City Girls, and to go out there and those young people in the wheelchairs with their disabilities, your heart fills up.
Denny, these guys get it, and these girls get it that play in this basketball game. They get it. This is more than just a basketball game, and I think that comes down to some of the criteria that you have defined in terms of character, in terms of skill, in terms of leadership. All of that is clear and evident in each one of these players.
Well, that's what we look for, Joe. I go out, I see approximately 180 games a year, and in seeing 180 games, I look for the player who's got the heart, who cares about other people. When even their opponent goes to the floor, they help their opponent up in the circumstance. I don't want the superstar who thinks is better than everybody and just ignores everybody on the court. He yells at the officials and all. That's not what we're looking for in this game. It's about positive people with positive energy, and that's what we want.
180 games.
Yep.
Think about that, as I always ask the radio listening audience to use their theater of the mind. 180 basketball games have gone in. That's the body of work that has gone into the presentation today. Man, that's amazing stuff.
Well, it's both the Labor Classic and the William Marquardt Basketball Club of Philadelphia that we run, which we just completed our 72nd year. So it's about the young people, and we care, and I love this game.
I know you do, Danny.
But these young people out here today showed me character. This is the future generation, and this is what we want in this country.
Dennis Hill joining us here on News Talk 990. He is, or does represent, basketball in this great city of Philadelphia and what basketball means. And on display, of course, today is all of the good work that has gone into the All-Star Labor Classic. And Denny, I've been with you along the timeline this year again. It's not an easy timeline. There's a lot of checks and balances. There's a lot of work that has to be done. There's a lot of that goes into the uniform selection, that goes into the player selection, that goes into the money and scholarships that the players receive. And then, of course, it all culminates with the $150,000 check presentation, which took place between the girls' game and the boys' game.
That's what it's about. We're helping those people, the people with disabilities, and that's what we care about. And we really do. I thank the labor unions for support. Top shelf. John Doherty, Ray Miller, Tide Heidi. Couldn't ask for anything more. They asked me to come on board a few years ago, and I came on board. And I told them, I says, I'll do it with you, but we got to work together. And that we all work together. And I thank the Lord every day
Well, Denny, I know when I walked in here today in the upper atrium of the Bobby Morgan Arena is the history of the All-Star Labor Classic that, of course, goes back to as long as when the games first started being played at the Spectrum and moving through the Delaware Valley, and of course now coming to the University of the Sciences, where Wayne Miller, who was on in between games, raved about the staff here at the University of the Sciences. They really helped put on a good first-class event today.
Excellent. Even down to the canteen there was run by girls who played in the game, who played for University of Science now. The girls basketball team ran that with the hot dogs and the pretzels. Everybody worked together, and that's the important thing. To make something a success, you work together.
Well, on behalf of the entire basketball community, on behalf of the entire Delaware Valley, on behalf of the entire listening audience on News Talk 990 and those watching on the stream on Facebook Live, and on behalf of all of these athletes from both games, the boys and the girls, Dennis Hill, thank you, because without you, this game would not have executed the way it has. A job well done by you. Countless hours, unconditional commitment on your part. Yes, my friend, you can finally rest after this after the second half of the basketball game.
Well, after that, Joe, I got 2 more weeks and I'll be sitting in North Wildwood.
There you go. Good stuff, Dennis.
I'll be back in October.
Good stuff, Dennis Hill
Thank you,
joining
Joe.
us.
I appreciate everything you did for us. Larry, everybody. You just did a great job.
I do it with great pleasure. Dennis Hill joining us here on the Jacob Media Radio Network as we come to you on News Talk 990. Halftime, the boys All-Star game. The Suburban boys have a 5-point lead over the City boys, 49-44. We'll take a 60-second commercial break and get Ari Bluestein back on the microphone. Back in a moment. All-Star Labor Classic across the Jacob Media Radio Network, broadcasting you on News Talk 990 on a Sunday afternoon in the Delaware Valley, where there's so many great things happening around the city of Philadelphia. Of course, the Villanova Parade, which happened down in Center City a few days ago. Big win by the 76ers over LeBron against the Cavaliers, and all kind of basketball activity. And I put this in the same category, Ari, for the simple reason that when you get together a bunch of great student athletes and they come together on this floor and they generate $150,000 for Blossom Philadelphia, they should be saluted to the highest regard.
I totally agree, Joe Kraus, and I think that, this is a really great time for Philadelphia sports, and this event should definitely be no different. You have some of the great players in the city and in the surrounding suburbs as Amin Williams makes the first bucket. Suburbs putting on a little full-court press, and Williams missing the layup after getting the steal. But this has been a phenomenal day. It's our final 2 quarters of basketball. We had the Union versus the Media game first up. Then we started broadcasting the girls' game around 1 o'clock. Great game there. A lot of great talent. And then same goes here for the boys' game as well, as the Suburbs with a 5-point lead. And the City team moving from left to right in the orange jerseys, and the Suburban team in the blue jerseys moving from right to left. And now here's a floater on the run, no good, from Charles Carlisle. And here's in transition, Amin Williams gets it inside to Bob Stratz. 3, and it's off the mark from Sean Simon, who had made his first 4 attempts, but since then has gone a little cold. In transition, nice little reverse layup up and in from Christian Brown. City team now within 3, 51-48. Johanse Garner hits the triple. The Bonner Prendy Fryer, Johanse Garner makes it a 6-point game. Fadeaway jumper, no good from Christian Brown. And here comes Sean Simon the other way from LaSalle College High School. He pulls up for another 3, and he goes glass. The bank is open here on a Sunday afternoon in West Philadelphia. And it's a 9-point advantage for the Suburban team. Pull-up jumper, no good from Peter Gard out of Germantown Friends. First time we're seeing him in the ball game. Garner lost it off his foot. Picked up Williams for 3 short. Outlet Down to John Kelly out of Roman Catholic, who lays it up and in. Second bucket for 4 points for John Kelly.
I love John Kelly. Going back to the PCL game, hard-working on the floor, running the floor, and getting the job done. Nice job, John Kelly.
And he's still hustling here, and he's not done for sports for his Roman Catholic career. He's playing first base for the Caholites this spring. As Darius Kittle with a spin move and a layup, and it's a 5-point lead for the Suburbs. They've got the basketball. Simon, a deep three again. This one is off the mark, and Kittle just lets the ball trickle out of bounds into the stands here at Bobby Morgan Arena on the campus of the University of the Sciences. You're listening to the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Kittle lost his footing, but was still able to put up a shot. And now nearly stolen away from Bob Stratz. In transition, here's a three, and it's good for Amin Williams. Oh, no, check that, Ahmad Williams. So Ahmad Williams hitting the three for the Suburbs. 8-point advantage for the team in blue. Just under 5 minutes remaining here in the third. Triple no good for Christian Brown out of Fells. Rebound by Jack Custers, the Lansdale Catholic Crusader. Stepping up for a deep three again off the glass and good by Ahmad Williams. Back-to-back threes for him. 11-point advantage for the Suburbs. Into the corner, it's Carlisle missing the three. Charles Carlisle the third out of Friends Select. Behind the back pass. That triple is no good for Amin Williams. He actually got hit and went to the ground, no whistle called. And Kittle lost the ball, got it knocked away, and knocked down one of our poster boards in the process down on the baseline. Just about midway through the third quarter, 4:14 remaining in the frame. And wholesale substitutions, 10 in, 10 out, it looks like, for both squads. City team bringing in Corey Davis-Combs out of Mastbaum in the Public League. Tom Quarry out of Father Judge. Pietro Bergilla out of Germantown Friends, as that three is way off the mark for Ahmad Williams, but Ajiri Johnson with the rebound, and the three is good for Koran Randolph out of Haverford. Andrew Funk and Sam Sessoms also back in for the Suburban team, as they lead it by 14, 66-52. Strong drive and one for Corey Davis-Combs out of Jules Mastbaum. Mastbaum in the Philadelphia Public League. As we see a few representatives from the pub here today. So Davis-Combs at the line. Makes it and completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Suburbs gets it back, and they are up 11, 66-55. Sam Sessoms, the Shipley Gator, dribbling around, pulling up, deep three, hit it. Wow, Sam Sessoms showing off the moves and showing off the range. And now, the man he hit the three over, Corey Davis-Combs, wants it back for a chance to get Sessoms back. He pulls up for three. Oh, and he hits it! And these players on the bench absolutely love it. Oh my God, this is a lot of fun. Here's Sessoms again. And he pulls up for three. This one's off the mark. Rebound by the City squad, and Davis-Combs gets it back. Back and forth we go as the point guard for the City and Suburban team going at it. Fade away. Davis-Combs missed it. Nearly chased down his own rebound, and now a fight for it. Bergala on the floor, but getting it back is the Suburban team. Oh, and Randolph throwing it away. And a quick timeout here for substitutions as Justin Anderson out of Archbishop Carroll checking back into the game. And as we talked about with Aaron Carter of the Philadelphia Inquirer, he was saying, you know what, they're competitive but also having a lot of fun. It is, after all, an all-star game, all for charity. Steal by the Suburban team on the run, and here is Ahmad Williams missing the layup. Oh boy. Coming away with it is Tom Quarry. Oh, and his pocket was picked by Sam Sessoms, who lays it up and in nice and easy. 71-58 is your score. Suburbs leading over to City All-Stars. Another three, and not getting the bounce was Corey Davis-Combs. Offensive rebound for the City by Pietro Bergella. into the corner. This is Corey Stewart from Masterman, and he drills the first shot that he takes. It's a 3 from the corner. 10-point lead for the Suburbs. Under 2 to play here in the third. Sessoms up and under. Got the bounce. Went right around Pietro Bergella. 73-61. Corey Davis-Combs shaking and baking. Guarded by Sessoms. These two have gone at it all quarter. Oh, and Davis-Combs nearly lost it, but then gets the back, missing the free throw jumper, gets his own rebound, and then threw it away in his attempt to pass it to Pietro Bergella underneath the basket. 1:25 to play here in the third. Suburban team in front by 12, 73-61. Sam Sessoms, the lob for Johnson, who throws it down. Johnson's had about 5 slams, but that one was probably the best yet. The future Rider Bronca, Jerry Johnson, now with 10 points. Substitution as Sessoms checks out after putting on a clinic here in the third. Just over a minute remaining. City with the ball down by 14. Quarry for 3, short. Rebound by Ahmad Williams out of Plymouth White Marsh High School. On the run, Funk, kick out, 3, good. For Karan Randolph out of Haverford. 78-61, Suburbs well in front. 37 seconds and counting remaining here in the third as Quarry hits the 3 for the City squad. First bucket for the senior Father Judge Crusader. Deep 3 for Justin Anderson, and he's got the answer. The Carroll Patriot drilling his first 3 of the day. 81-64 as we look well on our way to triple digits here in the All-Star Labor Classic. That jumper no good. Funk gets the rebound up ahead, and a nice easy finger roll for Ahmad Williams. 83-64, a 19-point lead for the Suburbs. And now Johnson gets the steal, but time runs out here in the third quarter. So we've got 8 more minutes of basketball remaining here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic as the Suburban All-Stars leading the City All-Stars here in the boys game, 83-64.
Raining 3 balls in the third quarter here as we broadcast to you from the University of the Sciences at the Bobby Morgan Arena. We'll take a short commercial break. We'll return to the Jacob Media Radio Network with the start of the fourth quarter back in a moment. News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. 3 quarters in the books as the Suburban boys open up an 83-64 lead over the City team here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic, all presented by the Philadelphia Building Trades. The man behind the microphone calling all the play-by-play. Do you have a quarter left in you, Ari Bluestein, voice of Philadelphia basketball?
I sure do. I mean, I did 6 games in a week for the PCL playoffs, so I think I've got another quarter left.
This is easy stuff.
This is nothing, and it's nice and relaxed. Beautiful cause, $150,000 check presented. Blossom Philadelphia doing a great job, formerly UCP, and it's just been a great day and a lot of fun as well as the Suburban team looks like they're on their way to a victory, but you never know. The City team could go on a run as Kyle Thompson makes the layup for the City squad. And the Suburban team with the lead, 83-68. They've got the ball back as Garner kicks it out to Sean Simon, who takes his time and dusts off the ball and makes the 3 after Beatrand went flying by on a pump fake. Sean Simon, his 6th 3 of the afternoon. 86-68, City down. Beatrand missing the layup on the drive. Strats with the rebound. Out of Haverford, leaves it for Simon, pump fake, this time he gets Croswell to go by, and he drills another one! And the Suburban players on the bench explode and celebrate. Sean Simon looking like J.J. Redick out here at U Sciences. 89-68, 6:40 to play. Beatrand with the ball for the City team, trailing by 21 points. Thompson with the answer. Kyle Thompson making another shot. He's had a nice game today. The former St. Joe Prep Hawk. Making a move is Amin Williams. Step back, fade away, no good. Defensive rebound by Kyle Thompson for the City team. The lob up for Beatrand, and he couldn't finish. Rebound by Amin Williams. Simon steps into a deep three. Short. A little bit of a heat check there for Sean Simon. Croswell all alone slams it down with two hands. 89-73 is your score. Certainly not over yet, and you would think the City team wants to make this a little bit closer with 5:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Into the corner, it's a Custer's three, no good. Offensive rebound by Stratz. He has to kick it out. It's going to be a Johanse Garner deep three, no good. Rebound by Noah Lindsay out of New Foundations Charter. He pulls up for three in transition, short. Stratz with the rebound. Garner, the leaner in the lane, short, got his own miss. The kick out. Custer's corner three, short. Garner with another rebound. Spin move around Thompson. And Johanse Garner with a nice little move. And now the City team trailing 91-73. 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. City team with the basketball. Beatrand left alone for three, right wing, no good. Rebound by Amin Williams. Williams goes in, lays it up and in. 93-73, 20-point advantage for the Suburban All-Stars. Here's an outside shot. Drew Riley from Father Judge hits it from the left wing. Suburban team still way in front, 93-76. And the way the pace has slowed a little bit, I think we need some substitutions. Get these guys a breather. Beatrand, oh, he doesn't need a break. He slams it down with one hand. Substitution timeout. 10 in, 10 out for the Suburban team. Sam Sessoms, Ahmad Williams, Andrew Funk, Karan Randolph, Justin Anderson return. For the City team, Darius Kinnell, Christian Brown, Charles Carlisle III, Mason Williams, and Peter Gard. All in for the City squad. Sam Sessoms, who really put on a clinic in the third, step back three, can't get the bounce. Rebound by Kinnell. Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells High School pulls up for three, air ball. Funk grabs it before it goes out of bounds. Suburbs with the ball and the lead, 93-78. Transition three, no good for Ahmad Williams, but Sessoms with the offensive rebound. He's left all alone in the corner. He's going to take it. Missed it. Kinnell with the board for the City team. On the run, step through around Randolph, missed the layup, offensive rebound, and the putback is good for Charles Carlisle III out of Friends Select High School. 93-80. 3:18 remaining here in this All-Star game. You're listening to the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic live from the University of the Sciences Bobby Morgan Arena here in West Philadelphia as Carlisle III lays it up and in transition. 3 minutes to go. City down 11. Deep three for Karan Randolph, no good. Carlisle with the rebound. He's going to step into a deep three in transition. Can't get the bounce. Rebound by Anderson of the Suburban team. Sam Sessoms. Williams back to Sessoms, who lays it up and in nice and easy. 95-82. Suburban team up by 13. 2.5 to play. Kinnell, no good on the three in transition for the City All-Stars. Sessoms with the rebound. Outside to Andrew Funk, his first shot attempt of the game, and it's no good. Anderson with the follow-up. He couldn't get the slam, but he was able to tip it up anyway, and it went into the bucket. So with 2:17 remaining, quick substitution timeout. Ajiri Johnson, the high-flying Friar from Bonner Prendy, back into the game. Suburbs up 15. Easy deuce for Christian Brown. Quick whistle. And it's going back to the City team. I think it was an inbound violation there on the Suburb team, and the official just having a little fun with these guys. trying to give the City team a little help to get back into this game. Kinnell with the layup. 11-point lead for the Suburbs. Under 2 minutes remaining. Ajiri Johnson, reverse slam. And Ajiri Johnson continuing to pile up the highlight reel. 99-86. We're 1 point away from 100 for the Suburban squad. Deep three, no good for Christian Brown. Johnson has it. Let's see if we can get the triple digits here. $1.50 remaining. Funk leaves it for Johnson, who slams it down. 101 now for the Suburban All-Stars. And Ajiri Johnson having some fun flying above the rim. Charles Carlisle the third with the layup for the City team. 101-88 as we approach the final minute here of the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic presented by Blossom Philadelphia. Sessoms went to go off glass, and it wasn't a clean alley-oop look, but Johnson was able to finish nonetheless. Kinnell, step up, transition three is good. 103-91. Suburban team still well in front, 45 seconds remain. Karan Randolph, step back, missed the three, rebound by Kinnell. On the run, Christian Brown, missed it. Rebound comes out to Peter Gard from Germantown Friends. Scramble for it. And Peter Gard and Sam Sessoms going at it. Two players in the Friends League. City team gets it back with 24 seconds remaining. Here in the fourth quarter, Suburban team is going to sweep this one. Suburbs beat the City Girls earlier. And with the score 103-93, Sam Sessoms might dribble out. Oh, no, it's an alley-oop to Johnson. Hello! Reverse alley-oop slam for Ajiri Johnson to put the cherry on top of an amazing day here at U Sciences. At the buzzer, the three is no good for Christian Brown. Your final score, Suburbs 105, City Team 93. At the end of the day, it's all about the charity, $150,000 raised by Blossom Philadelphia, and a great day of basketball across the Jacob Media Radio Network.
Raised for Blossom Philadelphia by the Philadelphia Building Trades. Again, great day here at the University of the Sciences. We'll take our final commercial break of the broadcast. We'll come back, and Ari Bluestein and I will put a bow on what has been a spectacular afternoon here on across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Back in a moment. The Sciences at Bobby Morgan Arena. We welcome everybody back into the Jacob Media Radio Network, and what a spectacular afternoon it has been here for the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. And again, Ari, I think you were right on the money, and it's been the theme of the entire day and the entire afternoon, but right on the money. $150,000 check being presented to Blossom Philadelphia, and of course that representing 100% of the proceeds being generated. Big shout out to the entire union community and the Philadelphia Building Trades. Oh my, what a great day it was.
It really was, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, the boys' game, you had the high-flying dunks of Ajiri Johnson and the deep threes from Sean Simon. In the girls' game, great team basketball, balanced scoring attack from a lot of the players, especially from the Philadelphia Catholic League. But you're right, Krause, it's all about the charity in the end, and I think the thing that makes this game so special is 100% of the proceeds going to the charity. A lot of time you think about charity, yeah, maybe 75%, 50% to cover expenses, but no, 100%. And we had a great turnout here at Bobby Morgan Arena and U Sciences, and saw a lot of great basketball players who you're going to see in college next year and maybe one day in the NBA. A lot of great talent here in Philadelphia.
And of course, at halftime of the boys' game, you were off microphone, so I don't know if you had an opportunity to digest or to consume the conversation that I had with Dennis Hill, who is the author behind the rosters that played today. Dennis breaking out in tears during the broadcast. Just goes to show you, in his words, I love Philadelphia basketball.
Yeah, he certainly does. What a great man. I love seeing him every year at the Palestra for the Philadelphia Catholic League Championships, seeing him here the last few years since I've been involved here with the Jacob Media Radio Network here for the All-Star Labor Classic. Great man. a legend in Philadelphia sports, just the name alone. Dennis Hill, you know it. And, he puts the rosters together, but there's a lot of people that make this day possible, and it's an honor for myself to be a part of it. And it's great that we can stream this live on SFBN.live, and then, of course, here across the Jacob Media Radio Network as well. And Krause, as always, it's been an honor to work with you, and thank you so much for having me and for having the Sports Fan Base Network as well.
All right, good job by the crew here this afternoon, and of course, Ari, great job by you on all of the play-by-play. Special shout out to Rich Henkels, who wanted to be here today but was unable to be here because of a prior commitment, and we missed Rich in the broadcast booth today. As we go to our closing break or our closing goodbye, I just want to thank again and recognize John Doherty, business manager of the Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council, Pat Eiding, president of the Philadelphia Council of the AFL-CIO, Wayne Miller, business manager, Sprinkler Fitters Local Union 692, Pat Gillespie, retired business manager of the Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council, and of course, Dennis Hill. That's going to do it for the live broadcast today here across the Jacob Media Radio Network on News Talk 990 for Ari Bluestein, who brought you all of the play-by-play and all of the action. For Walt, our producer back in the studio, and for the SFBN crew who did a great job on site today. I'm Joe Krause. See you next time, everybody.